Here we go. So first we're going to talk about equivalent fractions. Someone tell me what an equivalent fraction is. When you hear the word equivalent, what hopefully would pop into your head, Colo?
It's equal to another fraction.
Very good. So equivalent means equal. So can everyone see how this E kind of got cut off? At least mine did. Mark that down that that's an E. We want to know that that is an E for equivalent. So as Colo just said, it's two fractions, but it can also be more than two fractions. So it's two or more fractions that are equal, meaning they are exactly the same. Exactly the same. The numbers are different, but they are exactly the same. I'll tell you what I mean by that in a second. You can create equivalent fractions by doing two operations. What do you think the operations would be? Connor? Very good. You can create equivalent fractions by either multiplying or dividing. The numerator and denominator by the same number. So here's an example. 1/2 is equal to 5/10. Those are equivalent fractions. Here's why. If you got a 1 out of 2 on a test, you guys, what percentage did you just get? You got a 50%, right? If you get a 5 out of 10 on a test, what percentage did you just get? So do you see how the numbers are different, but you're getting the same grade in the grade book? That's why they're equivalent, because their decimal's the same and their percentage is the same. So that's why they're equal, they are equivalent. Okay? This is because 1/2, what did they do? What did they do right here? What am I pointing out? What did they do, everyone? So they did 1 times 5 is 5, and whatever we do to the top, we have to do to the... So 2 times 5 is 10. That is why they are equivalent. Is that understood? We go to this next one. I have 45 over 30. That is the exact same thing as 3 over 2. Because what did they do? 45 and 45 divided by 15 is 3. 30 divided by 15 is 2. Whatever you do to the top, you have to do to the bottom. Is there more than one correct answer? Yes, there is. Is that understood? There is no like, this is the only answer. There are multiple correct answers. Clear? Connor. Not unless they tell you to. So in this case, we're not going to. Good question. We will deal with improper and mixed numbers tomorrow. Okay? All right. So let's try it, guys. I want you to write an equivalent fraction for each. Okay? We are going to do actually 2 for each. So we're going to do 1 multiplying example and 1 dividing example. So when we look at 8/10, let's rewrite 8/10 down. I want us to divide out something out of 8 and 10. Raise your hand if you can figure out the number that I can take out of both 8 and out of 10. It has to be the same number. It has to go into both 8 and 10. What is it, everyone? 2. So I'm going to divide 8 by 2, and I'm going to divide 10 by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So 4/5 and 8/10 are equivalent fractions. They mean the same thing. Let's rewrite 8/10 down again. Now instead of dividing, now I want to multiply. Does it matter what number I multiply by?
No.
No, you can pick any number you want, and it should be correct as long as whatever you do to the top is the same thing that you do to the bottom. But let's pick an easy number, right guys? Don't make it hard. What would be an easy number? 10 would be an easy number. 2 would be an easy number. 5 would be an easy number. Okay? Pick easy numbers. Don't pick like 45. That would make sense, right? Alright, so let's do 2. So whatever you do to the top, you have to do to the bottom. Keep it the same. 8 times 2 is? 10 times 2 is? So 16 twentieths and 8 tenths are equivalent fractions. They are equal. They mean the exact same thing. All right, let's go to 1/2. Not necessarily. Let's look at 1/2. Can I divide anything out of 1 and 2? So I can't divide here, can I? What's the only thing I can do? Multiply. So if I have 1/2, somebody raise your hand and tell me a number they want to multiply by. Eva. 2. Whatever you do to the top, you must do to the bottom. I don't care what numbers you're multiplying by as long as it is exactly the same. Everyone, 1 times 2 is? 2 times 2 is? So 1/2 is the same as 2/4. All right, let's go to 1/5. Someone raise it, or first of all, can I divide anything out of 1 and 5? No, I can't. I cannot simplify it. It is in simplest form. Somebody raise their hand and tell me, what do you want to multiply by? Senna. 2. Everyone, 1 times 2 is? 5 times 2 is? 2 tenths and 1/5 are equivalent fractions. They are exactly the same. Last one, 12 twentieths. Can I divide anything out of 12 and 20? Hopefully you tell me yes. Raise your hand if you know what it is. What can I divide out of 12 and 20? Eliza, what do you think? 4. What else could I have divided out? Everyone? 2. So let's divide out 4 because that's what Eliza said. But you could have also done 2. Multiple different ones. They should still all be correct as long as you do the same on the top and the bottom. Everyone, what's 12 divided by 4? What's 20 divided by 4? So 3/5 is equivalent to 12 twentieths. Now let's do multiplying one. Somebody, what would you like to multiply by? What would you like to multiply by? 2. Usually, guys, 2 is the best choice because it's the easiest, right? I'd say 2 or 10 are the easy ones. So everyone, 12 times 2 is? And 20 times 2 is? So 24 40ths is equivalent to 12 20ths. Questions on equivalent fractions? All right, quick review. This should be a 2. Quick review. Discuss with a partner, meaning discuss with the people around you when you would have to find equivalent fractions. Go.
Yeah, like, yeah. And also another one would be like slicing a pie with pie. Sadly, I don't like eating pies with like spicy stuff in it. I don't like
Alrighty. Somebody tell me something they said. When would you do equal fractions? Dave, I need simplifying. It's definitely going to help us out with our simplifying. When else? Jake. Dividing among people. Absolutely. I heard a lot of people say like pizza or cake or donuts or pie. Okay? You are using equivalent fractions a lot in the real world, guys. You just don't necessarily call it equivalent fractions, but that's what you're doing. Does that make sense? Okay? So let's move on to simplest form now. So simplest form is a fraction written in simplest form has a denominator and a numerator that have no common, and this is a word you've heard before, but you probably don't remember it, no common factors. Remember, factors are numbers that go into it. So when we talk about factors, the factors of 2 is 1 and 2. 1 and 2 are what go into 2. Factors of 4 are 1, 2, and 4. They're the numbers that go into a number by multiplying. So, to write a number in simplest form, identify, we call it the GCF. Does anyone know what GCF stands for? Greatest common factor. Now, you do not have to find the greatest common factor. You just need to find a factor. But by finding the greatest common factor, it'll totally help you out because it's the greatest number. Does not mean you have to. You just have to get it in the simplest form, and I'll show you what I mean by that in a second, okay? So to write the number in simplest form, identify the greatest common factor of the numerator and denominator and do what operation? Divide. And divide both the numerator and denominator by it. So here are the examples they give you. I have 5/30ths, and 5/30ths simplifies down to 1/6. Because I have 5 and I have 30, 5 goes into both 5 and 30, so I divide 5 by 5 is 1, 30 divided by 5 is 6. Do you notice that's exactly what we did up here as well? So equivalent fractions, when you're dividing, is almost the same thing as finding simplest form. So they go hand in hand. If I have 14/20ths, that equals 7/20ths because I'm going to take a 2 out of each. 14 divided by 2 is 7. 40 divided by 2 is 20. All right, so I'm going to show you guys a couple of different things down on these try it problems. I have 18 and I have 30. Technically, the best way to do this, or the quickest way to do this, is finding the greatest common factor, meaning the largest number that goes into both 18 and into 30. That does not mean that you have to, okay? So somebody raise their hand and tell me a number that goes into both 18 and 30. 6. What else? 3. What else? Iba? I've said 6, 3, and 2. Those are your 3 factors that go in. You can use the greatest common factor, which is 6, what Emma told us, or you can do it the other way. So we're going to do this way on this problem, so everyone watch what I'm doing, okay? Let's say 6 does not come into your head right away, okay? You don't think of it. The first number you see is 2. So we're going to divide 18 by 2 and 30 by 2. Because we know that 2 goes into both, and that was the first number we see. Yes, it's not the greatest, but that's okay. What is 18 divided by 2, everyone? And then I have 30 divided by 2. So now I have 9/15. I still need to ask myself, is 9/15 in simplest form, or can I simplify it further? What do you think, everyone?
Simplify it further.
I can keep going. What can I divide out of 9 and 15, everyone? 9 divided by 3 is 3. 15 divided by 3 is
5.
So my simplest fraction is 3/5. Okay, now that is the way that you can do it. It's not the greatest common factor way, right? So there's more steps, correct? But is it still going to get you the right answer in the end? Absolutely. If you want, you can do the greatest common factor way. So if we write down 18/30, and Emma told us the greatest common factor is what, everyone? So I can divide each by 6. And 18 divided by 6 is 3. And 30 divided by 6 is
5.
Did we get the exact same answer? So do I really care, which way you do it? No, you do which way works best for you. Understood? All right. 4/50.
Can divide.
Somebody raise their hand and tell me, what can I take out of 4 and out of 50? What do you think, Peyton? 2. Let's divide a 2 out. What is 4 divided by 2, everyone? 2. And what is 50 divided by 2? Can I simplify 2 25ths? Is anything on about 2 and 25? Nope, that is in simplest form. Okay, 24 and 30. I want to know what number can go into both 24 and into 30. Sam, what do you think? 6. That is correct. I can divide a 6 out. What is 24 divided by 6, everyone? 4. What is 30 divided by 6, everyone?
5.
Means it simplifies to 4/5. Let's say I didn't see the 6 right away. What else could I have divided out that was not 6, Jake? 2. What else could I have divided out that's not 2 and 6, Hank? 3. So I could have also done exactly what we did in number 1 and divided by 2 and then divided it by 3. Or I could have divided it by 3 and then by 2. The order does not matter. Questions on simplest form?